with all the free agents in this offseason, with all the contract extension negotiation talk, there is one player who is flying under the radar, and I'm here to break it all down. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel, and let's get right into today's video. The player that I'm talking about, when you say his name might not be as sexy as the Paul Georges, the OG Anunobys, as the Pascal Siakams, even though it's been reported that he's going to return to the Indiana Pacers. The player that I'm talking about, Jarrett Allen. The Knicks are the betting favorites to land Jarrett Allen if he doesn't return to Cleveland. And if you take a look at the odds, plus 400 for the Knicks, then you got the Pelicans, Lakers, Celtics, Hawks, Rockets, and Thunder. When I saw this post, it got me to think. So, if by somehow we were able to land Jarrett Allen, who would he be taking the place of? And of course, the first person that came to mind, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is basically a poor man's version of Jarrett Allen, if you will. And I hate to say that about Mitch, man, because Mitch has been a defensive anchor since he got drafted into the league, just one of the premier defensive players in the league. Blocks, rebounds, just altering shots whenever players are coming down the lane. And I love Big Mitch, man. I love Mitchell Robinson, but like I said in a previous video, I think it's time to face facts. I think Mitchell Robinson is an injury-prone player. Every season in, season out, I think it's safe to say that you can guarantee that Mitchell Robinson is going to miss a minimum of 15 to 20 games. And I keep saying it, but I hate to say that about Mitchell Robinson, man, because when he's in the game, when he's in the lineup, we know what we're going to get from him. We're going to get maximum effort. We're going to get a defensive anchor that a lot of teams in the league don't have. And like I said earlier, we're going to have someone patrolling the paint. And if somebody that's going to attack the rim and attack the basket, we have someone there that's going to be able to alter the shots. Of course, we're going to have the defensive rebounding, offensive rebounding. But man, the only shtick that Mitchell Robinson has right now is his injuries. He's an injury-prone player. And this past season was another prime example. He ended up going out around Christmas time with that ankle surgery report that Chris and I were completely devastated by, but we didn't even know that we knew that he was battling something. We knew it was something with his foot and his ankle, but we didn't know it was to the point where he needed to actually get surgery. So, tying it back around to the topic of this video, what if we were able to land Jarrett Allen and somehow, I don't know, maybe if it was in a trade or sign and trade, or we just let Mitchell Robinson go? I'm not sure exactly of how it would look like. I'm just talking about if we just switch player A and player B, put Jarrett Allen in Mitchell Robinson's place, what would that look like? So if you take a look at the numbers here, Jarrett Allen for this past season, 16.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 2.7 assists, converting 63.4% from the field, no three-pointers, that's not his game whatsoever, converting 74.2% from free throw. That number I would definitely like for it to go up, but the number that's really sticking out to me, man, is the rebounds. 10.5 rebounds this past season, and when we compare it to Mitchell Robinson's numbers, for this past season, 8.5 rebounds. And like I said a little earlier, Jarrett Allen has a little bit of a leg up on Mitchell Robinson for this past season because, like I said earlier, Mitchell Robinson's report of getting the ankle surgery came around Christmas time, and he missed, I think, like 30 games. And he was out from around Christmas up until like maybe the end of March, I want to say. The end of March or maybe middle of March. So he missed a ginormous amount of time in the season. So Jarrett Allen's 10.5 rebounds to Mitchell Robinson's 8.5 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson's 5.5 points to Jarrett Allen's 16.5 points. Jarrett Allen's 2.7 assists to Mitchell Robinson's 0.6 assists. Field goal percentage, Mitchell Robinson 57.5%, Jarrett Allen 63.4%. Now listen, at this point of their career, they're both seasoned veterans. They're not going to change their game. Mitchell Robinson is not going to add a jump shot. Jarrett Allen sure as hell is not going to add a jump shot. But what Jarrett Allen is able to provide a team is actually what Mitchell Robinson provides the Knicks. And in my opinion, Jarrett Allen actually does it better. First of all, he's actually more reliable. Now, if you want to throw the argument at me that like, look at this past postseason, like where was he? Yeah, he had a rib injury, okay. And I don't want to say that's an anomaly, but he did miss. I think he missed the entire playoffs. He didn't play in the first round or second round. But that might be an anomaly. Jarrett Allen, we also got to mention that he's an actual all-star. He made the all-star team, I believe it was 2 seasons ago. And I remember that very vividly because the internet was absolutely flaming him for the outfit that he wore when he arrived to the all-star weekend. It was literally in like jeans, a regular black hoodie, and just like some regular shoes. He looked like Tim Duncan 2.0. But we also got to mention just his fit with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Evan Mobley is definitely the bright spot of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, you're going to have Darius Garland as well. The whole Donovan Mitchell stuff, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with that, even though the rumors have been swirling that he's actually going to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers and sign that contract extension. But then there was also an article and rumors put out earlier, maybe towards like the beginning of the finals round, where I forgot who put it out, but the rumor was basically that if Donovan Mitchell decides to extend his contract and decides to stay with Cleveland, Darius Garland is actually going to ask out. And if you're a basketball fan and you watch every team, I know Cleveland Cavaliers, they're not the sexy team, they're not the sexy name, but you see the fit with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, like it just doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. And then in my opinion, Donovan Mitchell, like if he's going to be one of your two best players on a team, I don't think the ceiling of your team is that high. I think Donovan Mitchell was going to fit perfectly as that third option. If he's your third best player, you know how ridiculous that lineup would be? Do you know how ridiculous that offensive output you have for Donovan Mitchell as your third option would be? But up until this point of his career, Utah, he ended up becoming the first option after his rookie season. And then after that, he got shipped to Cleveland. And then Cleveland, he automatically overtook Darius Garland's just potential. Darius Garland, that was his team. And then Donovan Mitchell came and it automatically became his team. And then for the last 2 seasons, they've been trying to figure it out. There's been some injuries here, some injuries there. But I just don't see it with Cleveland. I don't see exactly how it's going to work out. But tying it back in with Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley is actually going to be a big reason as to why Jarrett Allen stays, in my opinion. Like I said earlier, Evan Mobley is definitely a bright spot in the Cleveland Cavaliers. But one of the reasons why it hasn't really worked just with Mobley, Jarrett Allen, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, in my opinion, it actually has nothing to do with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. It has everything to do with Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has such a bright future, but what he absolutely needs to add to his game is a jump shot. And I'm not even talking about a three-point jump shot. And I know in today's NBA landscape, everything is like you live by the three and you die by the three. But what Evan Mobley needs to do, he needs to add just a mid-range jump shot. Because what is that going to be able to provide Jarrett Allen? If Jarrett Allen decides to stay with Cleveland Cavaliers, let's say Jarrett Allen decides to stay with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If Evan Mobley is able to add a mid-range jump shot, that's going to open up the paint for Jarrett Allen so much. Jarrett Allen, in this point of his career, like I said earlier, he's not going to develop a jump shot. That's not his game at all. What his game is straight up pick and roll, pick and pop, set back screens, alley-oop finishes, blocks, rebounds, defensive rebounds, offensive rebounds, setting good screens. That's Jarrett Allen's game. And if Evan Mobley is clogging up the paint next to Jarrett Allen, then that doesn't give a lot of room for Jarrett Allen to operate. But if Evan Mobley is able to add that jump shot, he's going to be able to space the floor. He's going to give Jarrett Allen more room to operate. And the next thing you know, when Evan Mobley develops that mid-range, then he's going to be a little bit more comfortable. He's going to start taking shots. And then the next step in his evolution is going to be quite simply take it behind the three-point line. And the three-point evolution ever since Steph Curry popped off when he basically had that 54-point game in the Garden, that's when Steph Curry really took off. Since that moment, since Steph Curry came into his own against the Knicks at the Garden, the NBA has basically been a three-pointer league. Going into hypothetical land, I know this is so far out because we don't even know what's still going to happen with OG Anunoby and Isaiah Hartenstein. But if we're able to retain OG, if we're able to retain Isaiah Hartenstein, if we're able to retain Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, I know that's a lot of what ifs. But let's say we retain the core players and then we switch Jarrett Allen and Mitchell Robinson. Do you know how much of a crazy lineup that would be? Jarrett Allen at the 5. Julius Randle will more than likely have to be the 4. We got Jalen Brunson at the 1. Depending on what would happen with OG, he'd be the 3 and Dante would be the starting 2. So we got Jalen at the 1, Dante at the 2, OG at the 3, Julius at the 4, Jarrett Allen at the 5, Josh Hart off the bench. That starting 5 would be highly respectable. I don't care what anybody says. If you're not a Knicks fan, but you end up watching these videos anyway, first and foremost, thank you for your support. We love it so much. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel always. But with that starting 5, we would be in the contention of Eastern Conference Finals. Look at the team that we had this season if we had everybody healthy. Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. That team, if we were able to get past Indiana, and if we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I get it. We were like skeletons out there on the floor. So were we going to be able to contend with Boston? I'm not sure. But again, if we were fully healthy, I think the Knicks would have at least given Boston a run for their money. Maybe not Game 7, but possibly a competitive 6-game series. Okay, so that's with the lineup that we had this season. And now with the hypothetical lineup with Jarrett Allen, Jarrett Allen, a reliable big who's not injury prone, who we're gonna have to be able to stay in front of Kristaps Porzingis if Kristaps could ever stay healthy. The Boston Celtics, they're the creme of the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks, they still have to prove to NBA fans that the connection between Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo can work because we didn't see it this season. So the Milwaukee Bucks, no, you guys are not part of the creme of the Eastern Conference. Right now, it's Boston Celtics and everybody else. That includes Milwaukee, that includes Philly, that includes the Knicks. As much as I love the Knicks, as much as I ride for my Knicks, they still got to prove it. And Philadelphia, of course, they got to prove it. Joel Embiid has not been able to stay healthy when the playoffs come around since birth, basically. The Miami Heat as well, they're not. I don't think they're part of the creme de la creme because they're just very up and down. It's Eastern Conference Finals, it's first round exit, it's Eastern Conference Finals, and then it's finals. Like, they're just all over the place. If it was a little bit more consistent for the Miami Heat, I would include them in the creme de la creme of the Eastern Conference. But the Boston Celtics, at least you can say that they've been going to the Eastern Conference Finals season in, season out. They haven't. When was the last time they had a first round or a second round exit? I can't really remember. But going back to that lineup, the projected lineup of Jarrett Allen as our starting five, Julius Randle as the 4, OG Anunoby as the 3, Dante as the 2, Jalen Brunson as the 1, Josh Hart coming off the bench, Alec Burks if we retain him, Isaiah Hartenstein backing up Jarrett Allen. Like, yo, that lineup against the Boston Celtics, they would have to respect us. Jarrett Allen would I think he would be able to stay in front of Kristaps Porzingis. And like I said earlier, Kristaps is injury prone. Like, he'll probably start the Eastern Conference Finals, and by the end of game 2, he'll probably injure himself. So that's gonna be a little bit less that we have to worry about. Jason Tatum, we're gonna have OG Anunoby, we're gonna have Josh Hart. If OG Anunoby matches up with Jason Tatum, if we retain OG Anunoby, of course, then matching up against Jaylen Brown, we got Josh Hart. And I'm not saying they're going to shut those two guys down, but they would make it difficult. And as long as we make things difficult for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, that's all we can ask for Knicks fans. And then we got Julius Randle, and then we got Jalen Brunson. And like I said before, Julius Randle, before the injury, before he went down with that shoulder injury, it really looked like he was really, really starting to believe and really starting to accept that second man, the second option role. It really looked like before that injury that he was like giving the team to Jalen Brunson, and he seemed like he was perfectly fine with it. So, guys, that's it for today's video. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this Jarrett Allen and the odds going to the Knicks is the highest. Like, let me know what you guys think about a projected lineup of Jarrett Allen as our starting 5, switching Jarrett Allen and Mitchell Robinson. What do you think? Do you think that would be an automatic Eastern Conference Finals bid? Let me know in the comments. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Taj Gibson for president. Wherever you are, enjoy your summer vacation. Much respect to you for being, 15 season, 16, 17, 18 season NBA vet. Much respect to Taj Gibson. Jalen Brunson, forever salute our captain, our best player since Patrick Ewing. Deuce is loose. Enjoy your summer vacation. We're going to expect big things from you next season. And until next time, I'm out, baby. Peace.